The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, a self-help book with a title that grabs your attention. Trust me, despite the swear word, it's packed with life-changing ideas. The main message is that you only have a limited amount of fucks to give, so you should choose wisely what really matters. As Manson bluntly puts it, you're going to die one day, and in the short amount of time between here and there, you have a limited amount of fucks to give. In other words, don't waste your energy sweating the small stuff. So, what are the key ideas? We'll break it down into a few big points. The value of struggle. Why hard challenges are actually good for us. Choosing what to care about. Focusing only on what really matters. Responsibility and values. How taking charge of your life and picking good values gives you freedom. By the end of this video, you'll see why saying "fuck it" to certain things can make you happier, and how to apply these ideas in real life. Let's jump in. The value of struggle. First up, struggle and problems are actually good for you. This might sound crazy, but Manson insists that life is an endless series of problems, and solving them is what makes us happy. Think about it. Raising a child or training for a marathon is a lot of work, but the satisfaction you feel afterward is so much greater than the quick high of, say, eating cake or playing video games. Manson even says, in the long run, completing a marathon makes us happier than eating a chocolate cake. Raising a child makes us happier than beating a video game. This simple example shows how meaningful achievements, however hard, beat short-lived comforts. A fun way to see this is to compare struggle to exercise. Imagine you lift heavy weights at the gym. It's painful in the moment, but the strength and confidence you gain are worth it. If you never challenge your muscles, they stay weak. Manson argues the same about life. Struggle builds character. He quotes Freud, kind of paraphrased, saying, "One day in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful." In other words, years down the line, you'll look back and be grateful for those tough times because they shaped who you are. I can relate to this. Early in my career, I spent months fixing a big coding project. It was frustrating and hard, but finishing it felt amazing, much better than coasting through something easy. That's exactly the point Manson makes. Who you are is defined by what you're willing to struggle for. In real life, the problems we tackle and choose to care about become the highlights of our story. If we only chase easy pleasures, life becomes boring. So, embrace the grind. Whether it's studying for a test, working out, or learning a new skill, recognize that the struggle itself is valuable. It teaches you, it gives you confidence, and it makes success feel that much sweeter. Choosing what to care about. Next, deciding where to spend your fucks. Manson's central idea is that we live bombarded by choices and opinions, but we simply can't care about everything. We must be selective. As he says, the world is constantly telling you that the path to a better life is more, more, more. The key to a good life is giving a fuck about less, giving a fuck about only what is true and immediate and important. Basically, don't try to solve every problem or please every person. Focus on what truly matters to you. For example, think of your attention like a phone battery. If you have 100% battery but you run 10 power-hungry apps, you'll shut down fast. But if you only use the apps that you really need, music, maps, calls, your battery lasts longer and you get things done. In life, apps are our worries and commitments. Manson's advice is to close the useless ones. Don't give a fuck about every email notification or every scroll on social media. Instead, give a fuck about the people and projects that align with your values. I used to worry about what people thought of my hobbies, like playing video games into late night. But then I realized, as Manson points out, not giving a fuck doesn't mean you become a careless zombie. He clarifies, Not giving a fuck does not mean being indifferent. It means being comfortable with being different. So I decided I'm okay with my quirks. I reserve my limited fucks for friends and family who truly get me. Another vivid quote. As we get older, we no longer need to give a fuck about everything. We now reserve our ever-dwindling fucks for the most truly fuck-worthy parts of our lives, our families, our best friends, our golf swing. And to our astonishment, this is enough. This simplification actually makes us really fucking happy. That means if you care deeply about a few things, like your family or your personal goals, life feels more fulfilling. Caring deeply about too many things just leads to stress. To apply this, make a short list of what really matters. Maybe it's your health, your close relationships, a passion project. Try ignoring the rest for a while. You'll be amazed how relieved you feel. It's like decluttering your brain. The tricky part is deciding what to care about. Manson suggests choosing based on your values and what you believe is important. More on that next. But always remember, your time and energy are limited. If you try to care about everything, you'll burn out. As Manson humorously warns, if you go around giving a fuck about everything and everyone without conscious thought or choice, well, then you're going to get fucked. So pick your battles. Responsibility and values. Finally, take responsibility and pick good values. Manson emphasizes that once you decide what to care about, you need to own it fully. He makes a bold claim. We, individually, are responsible for everything in our lives, no matter the external circumstances. Sounds extreme? He's not saying you caused every bad thing, but that you're responsible for how you respond and what meaning you give to events. Here's a simple example. If your friend stands you up, you might be angry at them, but in the end, you choose how upset you stay. You're responsible for either holding a grudge or forgiving. Manson points out that many people may be to blame for your unhappiness, but nobody is ever responsible for your unhappiness but you. You always get to choose how you see things and how you react. That power means you can shift your perspective. Another key idea is about values. Manson differentiates good values from bad values. Good values are things you can control and that help others, like honesty, creativity, courage, curiosity, and kindness. For example, deciding I value honesty means you try to be truthful, which you can control. Bad values, on the other hand, are out of your control or harmful, like being popular or always feeling good. If you value being liked by everyone, you'll be miserable because that's impossible. In the book, he lists some of these: good values, honesty, standing up for yourself, self-respect, creativity. Bad values include feeling good all the time, always being the center of attention, or being rich just for the sake of it. If your goals are based on external approval or random superstitions, you'll keep chasing things that don't truly fulfill you. So how does this play out? Let's say you value fitness, a good value. You'll work out and eat well, and even though it's tough, you get healthier. Contrast that with valuing being cooler than everyone else, a shallow value. You might waste time chasing trends or comparing on Instagram and end up unhappy. Manson's advice is to constantly check your values. Ask yourself, is this value healthy and within my control? Does it lead me to a meaningful life? Taking responsibility and having good values also means solving your own problems. Remember, life is essentially an endless series of problems. When you fix one thing, another pops up. But that's okay. Happiness comes from solving problems, not avoiding them. If you run away from every challenge, you miss out on growth. That's why Manson says that even though struggle sucks in the moment, it gives life meaning. For me personally, this meant stopping the blame game. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" I ask, "How can I handle this better? What can I learn?" Taking that approach makes me feel more in control, and aligning with good values, like honesty or learning, rather than just keeping up with others, makes decisions easier and more fulfilling. Conclusion. Let's wrap this up. The subtle art of not giving a fuck is a wake-up call to stop fussing about the unimportant and to embrace the hard things that make life worth living. Mark Manson's nuggets of wisdom like the key to a good life is giving a fuck about less, and we, individually, are responsible for everything in our lives, cut through a lot of modern-day noise. In short, problems are inevitable, and our happiness depends on solving good problems with the right mindset. You'll never find a life with zero problems, but you can choose problems that align with what you care about. As Manson says, hope for a life full of good problems. I find these ideas incredibly refreshing. They remind me that it's okay not to be perfect, okay to say no to things I don't care about, and that I have power over my own life story. Maybe you'll feel the same after reading the book or trying out these principles. Thanks for listening to this breakdown. If you take anything away, let it be this. Focus your fucks wisely. Embrace the challenges and choose values that truly matter to you. That's the subtle art of not giving a fuck, and it just might make your life a lot happier.